Your San Diego
Mm.
Padres fathers, 79 and 83 last year, missed the playoffs. One of the crazier collapses we've seen in a while. I mean, I don't remember the full numbers of it all. I'm going to bring it up right now. They were like the darling. I was telling everyone, go be a Padres fan. They're so fun. They're so exciting. Tatis missed a lot of time and was still like leading the league in so many numbers, even though he missed time. And then it all fell apart. Jake, what happened?
Fellas, this is going to be one of the fun ones. This is one you got to have circled because the thing we're probably going to spend most of this episode talking about, the Adam Frazier trade. He came over and then they flipped him to Seattle. Mark Melancon, we talked about him chasing rings in the desert. Daniel Hudson, he went to the Dodgers. Strom, he's in the Sox pen. And Tommy Pham, his San Diego time ends. Trevor had a couple good nights with Tommy Pham. Who they added? How about Luke Voit, your COVID season home run leader in the AL? He is a San Diego Padre. Nick Martinez, they gave him a little bit of coin coming from overseas. Could be some back end of the rotation or bullpen help. Robert Suarez, Luis Garcia in the pen. Circle him a little bit. He's nice. Matt Beatty, Jorge Alfaro, Mazzara to a minor league deal, and the news that broke today. How about our guy Sean Manaea joining an already strong rotation, probably the strength of this Padres team, in my humble opinion, Trevor Plouffe.
Let me tell you something about this rotation.
Yes.
First of all, our sheet isn't even updated for what the heck happened. Okay, so I'm going to be free balling this one. That's not the right way to say it. Anyways, we got Joe Musgrove leading off here. Our guy Yu Darvish. Those guys are built up, ready to go. Blake Snell, you know who that is? Could have been a World Series champion, but they pulled him out. Mike Clevenger going to be back on the bump. I think we're all really excited to see this. Really fun to watch when he's good. You mentioned Nick Martinez reinventing himself. I'm pretty sure I have a homer off him. And Chris Paddock is still there. He's still there. He's not there.
As of right now, he is.
He is. And newly acquired Sean Mother effing Manaea. That's a nice freaking rotation right there. There's depth. There's high ceilings, a couple high floors. I mean, you can work with this. I think it's really good. It is a strong point in the bullpen. Dinelson Lamet. This guy, Robert Suarez, I don't know what's going on with him. He's going to be their closer, I believe. I think he came over from Japan. What's going on with this? We'll have to see. Emilio Pagan, Pierce Johnson, Craig Stammen. Look, this team can pitch. This team can pitch, and I think they can hit. So, James, talk to us, baby.
You were 4 for 10 off of Nick Martinez. No homers, but a double.
Whoops.
Trent Grisham, center fielder. Manny Machado, Cronenworth, Luke Voit, Hosmer for now, first base. Will Myers, Austin Nola, Jurickson, Profar, and how do you say Kim's first name? Hassan?
I think you got it.
Kim. Caratini, backup catcher, will catch a no-hitter. Matt Beatty. How about that? He's over there. Forgot about that one.
Hassan, you're right.
I totally forgot about the Matt Beatty stuff. When did that happen? That happened
Just
all
like
year now?
last
A
week.
week
Remember
ago.
the guy got his arm signed? As a Dodger fan, Matt Beatty signed his arm. He got it tattooed along with Belly's name. Now all of a sudden, this dude has got somebody that plays for the Padres autograph on his arm. So that's
Tough.
That's tough. Who they?
I might like it. It's a story. He tells everybody this story. Like, how many people in this guy's circle have heard the story? Everybody,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Gosh, he's really the Trader Joe's. What if that guy's name is Joe?
Interesting.
They just got a lot of guys, huh? They got a lot of starters. They got a lot of players. Like, where the hell does Matt Beatty fit in? They got. Do they care about positions now?
I forgot to mention like Mackenzie Gore. Like you have people here. CJ Abrams is like an absolute monster. Like they have some people coming. We thought this was going to be a great year of 2021. It wasn't. My goodness. Biggest bump in the road I've ever seen. But
I mean,
2022 could be different.
It's an unbelievably bad second half out of them, but they're persevering.
John, I need to unravel that brain. Because you guys have heard me during this offseason. I've been flip-flopping on the Padres. I want to buy in. This was the year they were building up for. Clevenger's back. Jim, the starting pitching, especially now that they have Mania, I think it goes toe-to-toe with kind of anyone in baseball. The bullpen has some questions, but some fun questions. And this team used to be built around the lineup. So I don't know, man. I end up going in circles with this team. So I want to get your thoughts, because you normally like a pitching staff, and this team has a hitting element to it. So I don't know.
Yeah, their pitching staff. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about their pitching staff. I know Padres fans love it. It doesn't ring as crazy to me because I love Blake Snell, but he really has trouble staying in games long.
It has a chance. It has a chance.
Mania is a very good steady. Like, I don't know where two guys got to take over. Like, if they have one of these, like all of these guys, it can be very, very good. It can be second tier good. And that's I think the floor is pretty high, but I don't know how high the ceiling is. I don't know. Like Sean Manaea is like, he's good for like a high threes ERA and starts if he's healthy. He was healthy last year. Blake Snell, he's not going to give you a lot of length. I wish he would. I know it's tough to pitch. I don't know how to do it, but he's got such nasty stuff. It feels, and it's easy to say, like, I wish he would just attack more, but it feels like if he would just attack more, he'd be like awesome. And then Yu Darvish. I love Yu Darvish, so I hope he's great.
I think this is going to be similar to the Rockies, where everyone is down a little bit on this team just because of, what happened last year. For the Rockies is you're mad at the ownership. This is a collapse in the second half last year. But if you look at who they added, I mean, this rotation added Martinez, it added Sean Manaea, it's getting back Clevenger. We'll see where Chris Paddock is. Everyone still really believes in this guy. He's been mentioned in a bunch of trades, and it's the untapped potential thing. So, like, hey, Padres, like, can just go untap it. You know what I'm saying? Why can't they untap the potential? If it's there, give it a knock on the door, right? Blake Snell's going to be good. I mean, they have like 8 or 9 starters. And I think if we're taking this rotation and we're putting it on another team, a la Dr. Frankenstein, we'd be saying, wow, like, this team is fucking loaded. But that stench.
Yeah, it's a bad mouth
still
left in
there.
your. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Paddock might be gone in an hour. Who knows?
Yeah.
I don't think people love Paddock anymore, Trev. Like, he came up and he had the bravado and he had the cowboy hat and he was talking shit.
I always tell you guys, people need to relax.
Have you looked at Paddock's, his actual results from 2020 and 2021, and then also his projections and his peripherals? Like, they're way bad. So I don't know. I mean, obviously he's got the potential. He's a big leaguer. He can bounce back, but I wouldn't look at him. And then Cleve's coming off a year. So I do think this pitching staff can be amazing, Jake, but I also think that there are just a lot of names we know and they could not be great.
Well, I think that's where I think we got too caught up in the names there, because the guy who had the best year last year was Joe Musgrove. Joe Musgrove, 181 innings, a 3.18 ERA. Like, Snell and Darvish, both their ERAs landed around 4.2, which, by the way, in the realm ain't that bad, especially if these were your hitting fun San Diego Padres. Like, I guess that's my thing. Out of Darvish, Musgrove, and Snell, one of those guys rises to the top and I think can kind of be the true one your team is looking for. And then the rest, I think, fall into line. And when Manaea, depending where Clevenger is at, we're talking about Mike Clevenger or Sean Manaea as your 5th starter. And those are guys that, if they're right, you're not scared to give them a pill in a playoff game. So I really like this rotation. I think it will sort out. I think there is a little bit of a fear factor of how it sorts out. So I understand that. For me,
I was going to talk about Musgrove. It's his first year. It's his career year. And they banked on the peripherals in the trade there, and I like that. But for Clev, it's just coming off Tommy John. So he could be the best pitcher on the staff easily, in my opinion. Him and Manaea at their best, I think Clev is way better than Manaea.
And that's for me, the pitcher conversations, I think we could go around in circle. There's a lot of talented guys. We've got some contract years. We've got injury stuff. Yu's going to turn 36 this year. There's a lot in the pot there. I just think there's enough in the pot that things will click. So for me, it spins back to the lineup, which, hey, we'll see when Tatis is back. I mean, that guy has felt like the heart and soul of this team. You're right, Jim. Even with the injuries last year, he ended up putting up nut job stats. So when can he get back? Where are the Padres at when he gets back? And what are the vibes? And Trev, I think this will get you a little. What position, Trev? This will get you a little juiced up because I'm about to name another manager. We got a new guy in town, Bo Mel. And what is that going to mean for these Padres? Because man, oh man, do they need a different feel. We went from talking about Slam Diego and the coolest team to jump on to now we're talking about a Padres stink in the rotation.
Yeah, something happened last year. I think we leave it in last year because if we had this team the way we were talking about them, plus all the additions, we would have been going nuts prior to last year. So I'm really going to give them a one-off, hey guys, let's reset, unload the game, put it back in, right? I think they deserve that. They really do. Now, if Tatis was healthy right off the bat, I think we'd also be fired up. That really hurts, thinking about him not coming back until June or something. But honestly, they can tread water. Be around a 500 club. Tatis comes back. Imagine that jolt of testosterone and energy you're going to get when that guy comes back into the lineup. So come July, August, September, when they're full go, hopefully they figured out a rotation, who's going to be in the night for them. I just read about Robert Suarez. He doesn't strike anybody out. That's not going to work. In my opinion, shoot, man. I think I'm in. I like the team. I think they have the real bravado. It's not fake. Manny Machado's a real motherfucker. I like it. I'm in. I like him this year.
Good.
I gotta get that taste out of my mouth. I gotta see where Tatis plays and the injuries. I mean, if Clev has a setback, because coming back from Tommy John's hard. That's not a knock on anyone.
Sure.
I'm not trying to project. I just think coming back is hard. And if Darvish doesn't get bounced back, if Blake Snell doesn't give him more, I don't know. I'm not comparing them to the league. So I just want to let that be known. I think this is a top 10 pitching staff. I'm comparing them to the Dodgers and the Giants, where I'm saying, I don't know. It's a very good team. They should be above 500. They should have last year. They went 300 in the second half.
I think we're going to look back at this team, and I think it's going to be one of the best opening day lineups compared to where their lineup is. Because I think there's trades to be made. I think there's some young help along the way. And, I mentioned trades. This is a team that wants to trade. While we're recording this, I think we're nervous about another trade coming. So, Trev, I saw you raised your hand.
Unfortunately, as of this point, it looks like Mike Clevenger will begin the season on the IL, not with an arm issue, but with a knee issue. So the depth is already being tested. That happened 4 hours ago.
Find out what Martinez got.
Yeah.
So that's why they just made the trade.
What is going on? The Mets stuff, there's so much happening in baseball now. There's so much fluctuation and change. 3 or 4 days before opening day, I just
3 weeks
freaking me out.
People are scrambling. So that makes the Manaea trade make time. They knew that he was going down. They wanted another start. It wasn't just a depth piece or to change. It was,
yeah. Still high on him.
Stinks. What do you think? You think they can win the division?
No, I don't. I don't think anyone's going to pass the Dodgers this year. Although, shoot, we said it last year. It took the Giants a 107 win season to do it. I'm betting on the Dodgers all day long. Could they pass the Giants in second place and get a wild card? 100%. Like, I think this team could win over 90 games.
Jake?
It's really I want to see what DraftKings has as a number on it, because
88 and a half.
There's a formula. Like, we're going to talk about the Giants soon. There's a chance of regression with the Giants. I think everyone's talking about that. I think the Padres have a higher over under than the San Francisco Giants. That's Vegas. That's not us. The problem is the Dodgers, man. God, that team is so good. So good that it's hard to picture the magic with the Padres coming all the way back. I will say this: if they went all in on their prospects with Campusano and CJ Abrams, those are real guys. If they maneuver their pitching the right way, I mean, we would have said there was no shot the San Francisco Giants won the NL West last year, and they did. And this team has more talent on it than the San Francisco Giants. That being said, Vegas would have to juice the number for me to just sprinkle a little cheddar on the Padres, because goddamn, the Dodgers are a force. And if the Giants look like they did last year, you're fucked.
88 and a half. What you got?
I like the pitching coach change that they made, bringing over someone from the Indians organization, from Larry Rothschild, who, all reports say he didn't really love the analytics and changing things and wanted to make every pitcher do the same exact thing. So maybe this new dude, Niebla, Ruben, he comes from the Indians. So that's probably a big move, as well as Bomel, to help out the staff. I'm going to take the under. I think the Dodgers and Giants will beat up on everybody. And I think that even if they have a good season, I don't think it's going to be flawless. And I think to get 90 wins in that division, you're going to have to be pretty good throughout the season. I think they might have themselves a down month, and maybe it's only one down month this year instead of 3. But I'm going to take the under. It's 88 and a half. I got them winning 80-something games, but not getting up to 89.
Playoffs? No. I'm going to take the over. I say they do approach 90 games, whether it's 89, 90, 91. I have them in that realm. I think the ceiling is maybe a little higher than that. I don't think they catch the Dodgers. They do have a floor that's somewhere in the low 80s too. But I think the depth is there in all facets. I really do. So they have guys in the minor leagues that can come up and fill some of those spots when needed, or if they just are doing crazy in AAA. So I'll take the over. And playoffs, maybe.
I'll take maybe then as well, if that's an option.
Maybe.
I have to think. I don't know how many teams made the playoffs. 6?
6, yeah.
They're on the cusp. I say
the East is pretty good.
I say yes.
Ryan Weathers, another guy we didn't mention. He's part of that pitching depth. He was the youngest starting pitcher in baseball last year. And we just haven't really mentioned Jake Cronenworth's name yet. A fellow Jake, 800 OPS last year, plays everywhere elite defensively. So wanted to give my guy a little love along with Trent Grisham. The Vegas numbers are shocking. To win the NL West, Dodgers are minus 235. Makes sense, right? The San Francisco Giants are plus 600. Raises an eyebrow a little bit. The San Diego Padres plus 290. Vegas is in on the fathers this year. I would not sprinkle money on that line. I'm going in blind. I don't like it. I think the organization is all in. I've said this before when they traded for Clevenger. This is the year they originally circled with Snell, with Clev. I'll go over. I think this team is going to change a lot over 162 with a mix of some youth and a mix of some veteran trades. This Hosmer trade could happen in the next couple hours before this thing even comes out. I think the team needed a shakeup. Bo Mel can be the steady part of the shakeup. And you got to believe in something. Stay in it till Nando comes back. and I think we're good. Go Fathers, go.
Is that an over?
That's an over.
Go Fathers, go. Next up,